Hello everyone, welcome to my new science school computer class. This is our very first computer class after adding computer to the list of subjects we offer. The aim of this subject is to teach you computer whether you are a school student taking this as a subject, or you just want to learn computer for your own business or for your own personal interest. And this is a very great opportunity, especially for those that are not in school and want to learn computer and still they don't know where to start with. And again, there are many people who are seriously want to learn computer, but they lack the background knowledge of computer. That's the reason we are starting from the very basic, that is from the beginning, so that each and every one of us will be carried along. Without wasting much of your time, let's begin. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to define computer, classify different components of computer, then define hardware and software with their types, then define data and information. Sorry, this should not be here. So define data and information, then differentiate between data and information, then give example of data and information. Now let's start with the first one, which is definition of computer. What is computer? If somebody asks you what is computer, your answer should be computer is an electronic device that receives, stores, processes, and sends data to the user as information. So, computer is an electronic device because it uses electricity, then it receives data. It stores data, it processes data, and sends data to the user as information. Now you can again define computer as an electronic device that takes in data, which is the same as receiving data, and processes it, that is to process it then according to the instruction, that is set of instruction given to the computer. So the computer would process the data based on the instruction, that is the program, then stores this stores this data and produce the data as information. So we all agree that computer is an electronic device because it uses electricity, and this computer receives data, process it, and give out a result as information. So let's give an example. If you ask computer to calculate 2 plus 2, this is 2, this is 2, this is plus. They serve as your input. This is your input. Then computer will give you answer as 4. This 4 is the output of this data. And according to the second definition, we say that computer processes computer processes data based on or according to the instruction or program given to the computer. So now we have gotten this 4 as the final product of these 2, because we asked the computer to add the 2 numbers. So this addition is instruction you have given to the computer. So now your answer will be different from somebody that asks the computer to subtract 2 from 2, that is 2 minus 2. Your answer, or his answer, will be 0, while your own is 4. The difference here is that your instruction is telling the computer to add, while his instruction is subtract. So that is instruction or program. So your instruction or the way you program your system is different from the way he programmed his computer. So this is a very simple example of the meaning of instruction, but we shall see. We shall see this in our next coming classes. And remember, If you want the Hausa version of this lesson, you can find it in the playlist called Computer but Hausa. Computer for Hausa. Now, we have defined computer. Let's go to the component of computer, because now we define computer as something that you work based on electricity, or it uses electricity to function and receive, process, and send data. Now, what are the components that made up the computer? We have two main components: software or hardware and software. These are two main components of computer. So, if somebody asks you what are the components of computer, your answer will be hardware and software. What is hardware? Hardware is any part of computer that you can touch. That is hardware. While software are a set of instructions which are not tangible. That is, you cannot touch them because they are not visible. They are just set of instructions. It's just somebody that will be instructed the computer, if the user do this, do that to him. But we shall see in the next chapter. So, let's define hardware. Hardware. These are tangible part of computer. The tangible, we means touchable. That is, you can touch, you can feel it with your hands. That is tangible. So these are tangible parts of computer. All the parts of computer that you can see and touch, they are hardware component. And the same and forms the structural component of computer. By structural, we mean form the shape of computer. So if you see your computer is very big, what makes the computer to look bigger is the way the hardware was made. So that make it to be bigger or smaller. So, but the simple definition of hardware is tangible part of computer. If somebody just asks you directly what is computer hardware, just answer him by saying hardware are tangible parts of computer. That's all, and you give the very correct answer. Then let's move to the example of hardware component. So example of hardware component of computer includes, we have central processing unit. I have a picture of it, and keyboard, then mouse, then motherboard, then power supply unit, then memory, which could be RAM or ROM, then speakers, then monitor. Monitor means display, not class monitor. And still display, we mean the screen. So that is the monitor. Now let's take a look at this example. So first we have CPU and monitor. This CPU is central processing unit, is the actual computer. Everything else is peripherals. That means anything else from this one is just serve a specific purpose, but not the actual computer. So this is the main computer. What you need to do is just to connect this display so that you can see what is happening in the computer. But this is not the real computer, because without this, the limitation is just you cannot see what is happening, but the thing is there happening. Now this is the CPU. Again, this is CPU. This is the front view. So this is the monitor, which is the display, the screen. You see things that are happening inside your computer. Then the next thing is keyboard. This keyboard. So this is the normal keyboard, and these are the buttons, but we'll explain this further when it comes to different devices. So the next components are mouse and speaker. Mouse is just the mice, a rat, something similar to rat. So it just resembles the mice, that animal, And this speaker, or speakers for sound. So these are different components of computer. Together, this make up computer. But as I said earlier, this is the real computer. This is central part of computer. Without this, all other things are meaningless because they cannot produce anything. Is this the is the source? That is the source of anything, of everything computer. This is the source. So this monitor is taking something from this CPU to display for you so that you can see and you know where you are or what you are doing. And still, when it comes to keyboard, this keyboard is just to type in. What will receive your input is still the CPU. But after writing something, that is, for example, you write A, the keyboard is connected directly to the CPU. So the CPU now will process A. After processing, yes, you typed A, and monitor will now display that yes, your A has been typed. So since we understand that and we saw some examples, let's move to the other component, which is software. We said software. Okay, let's define it. This is set of instruction or programmed. This set of instruction or programmed to tell computer what to do and how to do it. The meaning is that these are set of instruction to direct computer or to instruct computer, to tell computer what to do and how to do it. For example, you play music in your computer. What will happen is you can set this computer to play next. After the current song, just play next, then next, then next. That playing the next is instruction you have given to the computer to play the next. If you ask the computer not to play next, it will not play. So now you use software to tell the computer what to do, that is to play or not to play. There are two types of software. Then the software are classified into two. We have system software and application software. Both of them, they are software because you cannot see them and you cannot touch them. When you write A, you will see A on the screen or in the screen, but you don't know how this A comes about. So this is because of software. So these software are classified into two, system software and application software. System software are types of software that the manufacturer put on the system. For example, you bought a new phone. Your phone must come with something or some application that you cannot remove. Something like settings and something like file manager, something like torchlight. For example, you have a place where, or just inside setting or somewhere else where you can on and off your torchlight for the phone, that is the flashlight. That software that enable you to go and on and off of these things, something like do not disturb or your flashlight, all of them, they are programmed by the manufacturer and you cannot change them and you cannot remove them. These are system software. Another important example that will help you to understand the meaning of system software is that when you buy a new phone, no matter what the company is, if you on the phone using the power button, so the company's or manufacturer's name will be displayed before the phone show you the home page or the normal home page of the phone. In case of computer, before the computer show you the desktop or the actual desktop. So this name of the company that will be displayed is programmed by the manufacturer and you cannot erase it. For example, to make it in such a way that it will display your name before it show the desktop. That is impossible. So that program is designed for the manufacturer, and it is called system software, since it is not editable or erasable. In contrast, application software are types of software where you will install them yourself. You will go to Play Store or App Store or anywhere else and go and download them or get them from your friend. But this time around, you have full control over it. By full control, I mean you can delete it. But system software, you cannot. So this is the main difference between system software and application software. System software, you cannot edit, you cannot delete. While application software, you have the control of editing, maybe editing, but not always. And also, you can uninstall it, that is to delete it from your system. So now let's see the different or the definition of system software. So system software, this helps computer to run and control hardware. What are the system software? Are those software that are necessary for computer to function. So without them, computer cannot be function. Imagine you own your phone, but there's no program or instruction in the phone that will allow the system to boot up and show you display or show you some folders or show you a place where you can install or put your own application, something like that. So automatically the phone will not function because there is no display, because it lacks system software. So as we can see, system software is of two types. We have operating system and utility system. Okay, sorry, utility programs. So operating system are those programs that control the background activity of your system or phone. For example, you cannot on your phone if there is no operating system, because for the phone to display something like any text on the screen, it need to have operating system. So operating system is good example of system software. Example of operating system, we have Windows for Microsoft, and we have Linux, some people call it Linux, and we have Mac OS, which is for Apple. This for Windows. This is Windows, which is the company that produces this Windows is Microsoft, while the Mac OS is for Apple. So all those computers that are Apple's products, they are running Mac OS, while Windows are those computers who are not Apple or Linux. So what you want to understand here is that for your system to boot, for your system to show you desktop, you need operating system. And if you can check, the desktop of Windows is different from that of Mac. Then let's move to the next types of system software. We have utility program. Utility program are those programs installed by the manufacturer. That means they are system software which you cannot edit, or let me say you cannot remove them from the system. Example of them include antivirus, we have file manager, we have settings. You cannot just come and install the app for setting either from your phone or your computer. This is because they are designed to work with the computer. That's why they said these software are not to be deleted. Sorry, I forgot, there's typo here. To be deleted and are necessary for computer function. So they are necessary for your computer to function. You cannot use computer without them. So now let's move to the application software now. Because we have two types of software, we have system software and application software. We discussed system software. Now, what is application software? So application software, the definition is that is a software that is required for specific purpose. That simply means those software that you need for your own types of activity. For example, you want game, you just go and install game. You want to write, you go and look for Microsoft Word or a lot of them, or you want to do a graphic design, then look for apps for that. So these applications that you go and buy them from market or download them from somewhere else, they are called application software. The word application is from apply, that means to put on. For example, I can ask you to apply medicine, that means to put medicine on something. So if you apply something, that is, if you apply a software to a computer, that means this particular application or this particular software is called application software. So application software are those softwares that we are using to perform particular tasks, and they are not necessary for the computer. They highlighted it here, that usually not necessary for normal function of computer. So without this application or this application software, your computer can function, but without system software, your computer is useless. So that's why we need system software or software. And an example of these application software include a Microsoft Word, Excel, Chrome for browsing. We have games, different types of games. We have Adobe Photoshop. These are application or application software, because maybe somebody doesn't have these types of application because maybe he's not interested in gaming or browsing or graphic design. Maybe he's interested in just music, so he doesn't need this kind of application. So that's the application software. But each and every computer must have system software. For example, if I'm using Windows 10, then my computer must have Windows 10, the same as the many other computers. For example, the settings on my computer is the same as the setting on other computers, as far as we are using the same Windows 10 or Windows 11. So this is application software. Then there are some category of application software which there are some category of application software. Consider them we consider them as programming software. So these softwares are application software, but they can be called programming software. So some texts, maybe they include this programming software as the third types of software. But here, the programming software is still an application because you don't necessarily need it for your computer to function. So the reason they are classified separately is because they are used to build other software. So these include IDE, which is Integrated Development Environment, then Visual Studio, then Python, and text editor for editing code, then compiler for translating entire source code, then interpreter to translate code into machine language. These are another category of programming, or another category of application software, which are called system programming software. Now let's go to characteristic of computer. What are the characteristics or qualities that are attributed to computer? So these qualities make them one of the important tools for modern life. So most of us cannot do well without computer. For example, if they seize your phone for 2 weeks, there's problem. So let's look at this characteristic of computer. First is speed. So computer or computers can perform billions of calculations per second, which is much faster than humans. So computer can perform billions of calculations. Imagine you put 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 100 up to billions. With single click, you will see the answer. I'm just giving you example, but this is not the actual how this thing works. Then we have accuracy. So computer is very accurate in performing tasks. Computer can perform operations according to instruction with zero error. So it will perform the calculation with no mistake. But they said error comes only from humans, either from wrong data or wrong instruction. Maybe you give the computer wrong instruction so it can perform wrong calculation for you. But this error is coming from you, not from the computer. So let's move to the next characteristic, which is automation. So automation simply means to make something works automatically. So computer can work automatically without need of human intervention if programmed to do so. So if you program your computer to perform something or to perform calculation automatically or to perform a particular task automatically, it can do so without you controlling it anymore. For example, you ask I'll just give you a simple example that is very simple to understand. For example, when you ask your computer while playing music, if this music comes to an end, let the computer just play the next music. That is the next song on the list. So the computer will continue doing this until you stopped it or something happens. So that means you program it to be playing next, while you can also program it to shuffle. That means from number 1 maybe to number 10 or to number 20 back to number 3, something like that, at random. So that one is all depend on you. Then we have versatility. Versatility, that means computer can perform wide variety of tasks ranging from solving maths problems, then playing music, browsing internet, controlling machine. What this means is that computer not only perform a single task. For example, computer that can solve mathematics problem it can only solve these kinds of problems. No, computer can perform many different tasks. For example, it can solve mathematics problem, also play music, it can also browse internet and also control machines, for example. So this all computer. Then we have diligence. By diligence, we means computer cannot be distracted. You cannot distract computer because you ask the computer to play music and you come with with food, or you are eating food beside the computer. Computer doesn't know even what is happening. So that's computer for you. It can do its own tasks without even being distracted, no matter how distractful the thing will be, because it is not something it's not living things. So computer is has diligence and one of its characteristics. Then the next characteristic is storage. So computer has the capacity to store. So computer can receive and store large amount of data. Computer can store large amount of data which can be retrieved. You can retrieve it back, update, and you can update it and modify it. You can change it easily. So if you write somebody's name as Audu, for example, and you want to change the name to Tanko, you can easily go and erase and write Tanko. That is computer for you. So memory, computer's memory can be RAM or ROM, that is ROM. That shall be discussed later. Another key characteristic of computer is multitasking. Computer can perform a lot of different tasks accurately at the same time. Example, playing music, typing document, and downloading simultaneously. That means at the same time. So computer can perform many different things at the same time. Unlike humans that cannot do some work, it cannot combine two works together because they can only focus on a particular work. There are some works that can be done together, something like playing, or you are running and singing. Maybe you can do that, but a lot of different tasks that need your memory or that need your focus cannot be done together. Then the next on the list is connectivity and communication. So modern computers use internet to connect other devices, which enable sharing data and communicate across the globe. That is, with the help of internet, you can communicate with different computers as far as America, China, or Japan with your computer. So computers can communicate. By that, we have communication across the globe. Then the next on the list is intelligence limitation. So computer, yes, of course it is intelligent, but there is limitation. Computer cannot think, decide, or cannot think or decide on their own. So they will not start something on their own. They need you to give them instruction. That means computer, they have limit of intelligence. They cannot think on their own, and also they cannot act on their own. They only follow instruction given by humans. Although artificial intelligence, that is AI, makes computers appear intelligent, but still it is based on human program and data. So it's programming and data. They are programmed and they are given data. So that is the reason we see them as limited, because we see them as they are limited because they cannot decide on their own. So now let's move to the next chapter, which is data and information. Data and information are two terms that are often confuse many students. So today you will know the difference between the two, and also be able to give example. Data is defined as raw fact or figures that convey no meaning. So they are just raw fact. Raw fact, when we say raw, means unprocessed something. So they are raw fact or figures. They are raw fact or raw figures that convey no meaning. So they don't have meaning by themselves. On their own, they are meaningless until they are processed or organized in meaningful way. But if you organize them, put them together in a way that they will give meaning, then they become information. That is the other term we are going to explain. So data, after we process data, then the processed data now become information. So example of data, we have numerical data, which is we have something like 1, 4, 73, 14, 50, 5, 1. Let's call this as scores. Let's say a student scored this for test or bonus marks or something like that. It just has this score. Then we have alphabetic data. Alphabetic data are those data that are gotten by simple combination of alphabet, which is just words. We have MNSS as example, Abuja is another example, house, then computer, some etc. Then alphanumeric data. Alphanumeric data are those combination of alphabet. So this is just alpha means something alphabet, then numeric means from numbers. So combination of numbers and alphabet, which make alphanumeric data. Alphanumeric data include A126 and MP3 at 150. All these are alphanumeric data. So now let's move to the information where these two will make sense. Information. Information is processed or organized data which give meaning. So when we organize data, process data, and make them in a meaningful way, then we arrive at information. Example of information. The total number of scores gotten by a student is 150. These are the scores. These are the scores we have given earlier. These are the scores of a student. Some of the scores are from a test, some are from exam, while some are just bonus mark or assignments. So these are just raw fact because they convey no meaning. So he got 1, he got 4, then one word. You need to organize or process data for you to get out meaning from it. So we have this as a score or scores. Then as information, we say the total number of score gotten by the student is 150. So now we can say Audu has 150 points. This is a very good example. So another example is that MNSS Computer Abuja House Abuja. We have MNSS, My New Science School Computer House Abuja. So this is a very good information. My New Science School Computer House Abuja. That means we use this as data and we organize and rearrange the way these data appear, and we arrived at getting this information. So we have My New Science School Computer House Abuja. This example, we hope that you understand what's different between data and information, and these are the simple definition of the two. This definition of data and this is definition of information. Then the last thing is that we want to differentiate further the information and data because we want you to understand it so that you will not confuse the two whatever you are asked to differentiate them. So this table give us some example or give us situation where data can be given as example. Also, we extract information from the given data. First, sales record. So from sales record, we have 1,000, 2,000, then 1,500. These are example of data. So these are the data gotten. Then total sale is 4,500. That means from here, using the data, we now understand that the total sale for the day was 4,500. That is 4,500. So please, if I ask you what's different between this and this, your answer simply will be this raw fact, which is data, this is information. And the main difference in terms of the figures here, we have this as the individual as the single piece of data, while here combined after processing these pieces we have information as 450. Then again we have survey answer. For example, you're asking students who have the background knowledge of computer. Some say yes, or you have one say yes, then the next say no, then the third says say yes, then the fourth said no, last said no. Here all of them combined together or processed, you will now give information as 60% of the people said no. That means 60% said no as the information, while only this, they are pieces of data. Then student details. Here another example: name Audu, then age 19, then class SS3B. These are pieces of data. Arranging this, you will know that okay, Audu is 17 years old. Sorry, I made a mistake. Instead of writing 19, I wrote 17. So Audu, let's just use the 17. Audu is a 17-year-old, and 17 years old or 17-year-old and SS3B student. So Audu is a 17-year-old, also SS3B. He is in SS3B and he is 17 years old or years old. So this simply means you are giving out information about Audu. You can use this information to look for Audu. For example, you want to see Audu, so you know where to go to find Audu. You need to go SS3B. So this is just information and data. Then exam result. For example, a student got English 80, Maths 70, Computer Studies 90. These are pieces of data, while information would be something like the student's total score is 240 and the average is 80. So using calculator, just add 80, 70 and 90, you'll get 240, and the average. For you to get average, you need to say, since these are three different subjects, so you have 80 plus 70 plus 90, then divide by the number of subject. Number of subject is 3, which is the first is English, Maths, then this. So the average will be 80. Then the last, attendance. Attendance of a student, we have, let's say he's present 45 times and he's absent 5 times. Then what is the percentage of his attendance or her attendance? The percentage is 90%. So the student attended 90% of the classes. This is information. So these are pieces of data, while this is information. So that's how to differentiate. These are the simple example to differentiate between the meaning of data and information, and I hope you will not confuse the two everywhere you go from now. So that's the end of this class. Hope you will learn something. If you learn something from this lesson and you think this lesson is helpful, please, as always, like our videos, share our videos, then comment in the comment section below. Then above all, please subscribe to my new science school for the future lesson. Please on the notification button. By opening a notification bell, you will not miss out our classes. Thank you very much. If you like the Hausa version of this lesson, you can find this in a separate playlist titled Computer for Hausa. And thank you very much, and thank you for watching. My new science school, as always, we wish you success. See you in the next coming lesson when we'll talk about brief history of computer.